Hi, hello, it's Pip here, Queen Pip Cards. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today we are talking Christmas Gleaming and the Brightly Gleaming bundle. Now, I have to say, this is on back order at the moment, this entire bundle. Not surprised, because it's gorgeous. You get 2 punches and the stamp set and the papers, and it's just flown out the door. But that doesn't matter, because there's lots of you out there that actually have this set already or are looking to purchase it later, or maybe you have an older bauble set, and I just wanted to show you all the different things that you can do with baubles this Christmas, because I thought I was kind of baubled out. I was chatting to a friend yesterday and she went, I kind of thought I was baubled out. I said, yeah, me too. And then I saw this set and went, oh, okay, maybe not. Maybe I still like baubles after all. So so we're going to make a card today, but I also wanted to show you some of the things that I've been doing and playing with this set. So here are a couple just simple note cards. I really like note cards. I've got back into them, especially for Christmas, because a small, quick note card doesn't take you long to make, but actually it's still really pretty, and people don't mind different sized cards for Christmas. I think it's kind of an accepted thing. So these are very plain, very simple. Stamp the bauble, stamp a bit of decoration, or just punch out some extra baubles there. Pop on your sentiment. Use the papers, and there you go. Really simple. Then if you wanted to, you can make a smaller note card. This one's a crumb cake note card size, and I've just heat embossed the bauble, heat embossed the sentiment, and can you see that? It's really gleaming. It's lovely. And then just stamped a bit and stuck a bit of thread on. So that's a very, very quick and simple one. This one is simple and quick in a different way, because this is just stamped and it's got one of these little peacock rhinestones on. I think you've seen that one before, and you've definitely seen this one before, because I've done this as a different video before, Brightly Gleaming Baubles, when I first shared them. So you've seen all of those, and you've seen my watercolour one as well. But today I wanted to show you this one and how you can do it in a different way, slightly different colours, not massive. We're still using real red, but we're going to use Old Olive instead of Mossy Meadow, and I'll show you how I did this bit, and also what to do if you don't want to do any heat embossing but you still want something to look a little bit jazzy here for the central bauble piece image. So that's what we're going to do today. So as I say, I'm changing the colours up. This time we're going to use Old Olive and real red. So I have an Old Olive base, which I'm just going to fold in half. That's very simple. And then I have a piece of real red, and this is cut to 10 centimeters by 14.4, and then a piece of Whisper White this time, and this is 9.5 by 13.9. So I'm going to go Whisper White rather than vanilla, just so that you can see the difference. You can, you know, it's hard on camera sometimes to see the very vanilla difference, but it is much creamier than the white. Hopefully you can kind of see that there. So we need to stamp first. We need to first of all get our stamps out, and we're going to use the holly leaves. Love these holly leaves. And we're going to use the sentiment. I'm still going to use the same sentiment, Deck the Halls, because that's what we're doing. We're decking the halls. I'm tempted, but I don't know whether I'm going to use this little sort of snowy thing here. I kind of think I am, but it's one of those things where sometimes it looks good and sometimes it doesn't. So we'll give it a try. It just depends on how good I am on the day. Do you have things like that where it's just dependent on how good things go? And then these are real red cardstock, which I've just punched out. I've just given myself a couple, and just to show you the different sizes. So this is the small bauble, okay, which is really kind of cute, and then this is the normal size bauble, and of course you can put these together and turn these into a flower. You know, that's just a given with any bauble, that you can make that into a flower. Just keep going round, and you could probably do the same with the little ones as well, turn them into a smaller type of sort of more open flower petal. So there you go. But these make great poinsettias, just saying, because they're, you know, that sort of flat shape. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to move those, because we don't need those actually, because I've already punched out my baubles. So let's get started with this. Oh, sorry, that's very loud. Sorry. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp the whole of the holly, including the berries, in the old olive, about here. Okay, leave that to dry, and then stamp on a separate piece of paper the whole thing again. Okay, and then we're going to take this piece back again, and we're going to stamp the sentiment. And this time I thought I would, oh, do I want to stamp it in red, or do I, actually no, I do want to stamp it in green, I think. Yeah, let's keep going with the green. I like the green because it's, the old olive is a much brighter green than the mossy meadow. I like mossy meadow, but old olive is a real fresher green. There we go. Stamp that down, and then that's pretty much all the stamping done, unless I come back and decide to do a few sprinkly bits. We'll see. So the next thing we need to do is take our 2 leaves, and we're going to use my Wink of Stella, and we're just going to brush the leaves with the Wink of Stella. And what this does is it just picks up a small amount of the ink that's in the, on top of the surface of the paper that hasn't dried yet. You know, if you ran your fingers over it, you'd think it was dry, but as soon as you add a little bit of this glycerin to it and the sparkly mix, it comes out again. Oh, that's lovely. There we go. Really sparkly. I don't know if you can see how sparkly this is, but when I'll pick it up, you'll be able to have a look and see. This is really sparkly, which is great. We like sparkly. So just tease out that ink. You've got much more in the centerpiece here, so you can really get that stuff working. And the thing is, it doesn't damage your cardstock doing this. Okay, it's not like if you were scrubbing over it with a blender pen, which would definitely, not a Stampin' Blend, that's different, but with a blender pen it would definitely start to pill the paper and lift it away. Just, I think, because it's a harder nib, nothing more you know, serious than that. It's not because it's got some nasty things in it, it's just because it's got a harsher nib, whereas this is more of a brush nib. So there you go. See, that's the reason. You learn something new every day, yeah? Whether you like it or not, really. Okay, and I don't know, you probably can't see this, but I can see this is really sparkling and starting to shine with the silvery glitter in the Wink of Stella. It really brings it out. And of course we need glitter because it's Christmas, so sparkles are always good. So I think you can still get the stamp set. Don't think the stamp set's on back order. It's just and the bundle of stamp set and punches itself, that's not on back order. It's just the whole suite. If you try and buy it all together, that's when it's on back order. So obviously there's something in there that's on back order in that suite. There we go. Right, so hopefully now you can see if I lift that up and start rotating it. Oh yes, you can see that now. See that shine? Shimmer and shine. Lovely, that's what we want. Okay, so whilst that dries, I'm just going to attach these pieces together because that won't take too long. I shouldn't need to smudge the front of it too much. And then we're going to use the Wink of Stella again this time on the actually no, I might use my pencils and my Wink of Stella. So on my card I did before, I actually used Stampin' Blends on the berries there, on the holly berries, but this time I want to keep it a bit more subtle. in line with the fact that we don't have the copper embossing coming on. So we'll keep it a bit more supple. And I might go with the... Actually, I think I'll just go with the Wink of Stella again, because it just keeps it all in the same vein, as it were. Right, there we go. Okay, so now that's on. This really is a very quick card. You know, there's not a lot to it. But I just want to show you these little tips and tricks that I use, because you never know, there might be something that you don't know. And then you can do it yourself. Okay, so the first thing with the holly is to work out where it's going to be when it's on the card. And then we're just going to paint over there. Get these nice deep red colour. Now these ones are definitely going to be shown because this is the top layer, but I'm going to do the bottom layer as well. And the reason I do that is because a couple of them show, but also this is going to be up on dimensionals. So if you look at the card from the side, you can see underneath these. So it would be nice if you could actually see what was happening underneath. Okay, so this is the one that's going to be on show, as it were. I'll get that nice and dark. And then these are just going to be hidden, so you don't have to be quite so perfect with these. But still, you know, they can still see them when they turn the card sideways. And people do that, I find, don't you find? That if there's something that's raised like this, people often go, oh, look at that. Oh, look, it's raised. Which means that sometimes they can see what's underneath. So it's always good to therefore make sure that the underneath doesn't look quite, you know, doesn't look too bad. Right. So next up, we're going to just cut the holly leaves out. I know, gasps from the audience. But seriously, it's holly, it's not difficult. So we come into the berries, we come around the berry, whee, all the way around there, up, in, up, and then it's just this curving motion. Round, take your notches out. Okay. And, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, because you are going to put it on top of white in the most part, so it will it'll just stand out a bit. But sometimes it's a bit therapeutic. I found myself doing loads of fussy cutting this year, and I don't know why. I mean, I've been using all the dies as well, don't get me wrong, but there is just some images like this holly that just drew me, and they don't have a die that matches this. Stampin' Up doesn't make a die to match this image, and you know, that's okay. That's their image. They're allowed to decide what they want to do. They designed it, so they get to choose. And it just means that I have a bit of time to concentrate on this and nothing else. Which is why sometimes I'm videoing and I'm not talking, because I'm concentrating on cutting and nothing else, including the fact that I'm supposed to be videoing and chatting to you lot. So, oh dear, never mind. Generally, most of the time I get it right. And actually just doing this and chatting at the same time isn't that hard. But there is some things I find difficult that I can't do at the same time. Ah, never mind. Right, okay. So see, that didn't take us very long, did it? Now, before I put it on, I'm just going to grab my, where is it, chalk marker. Because I do also think that sometimes it's nice to just have a little bit of highlight. Okay, so you can just sort of highlight your berries. So this is going to actually sit this way here. So we'll have a bit of light coming in at the top. And this chalk marker is great because it just goes straight on. And it's there. It's very subtle. on Wink of Stella. Okay, it's much more obvious on other things, but it is there. You can see it, or at least I can see it. Hopefully you'll see it in the photograph, but yeah, it's definitely there. So next we put that on and just attach it, and that's simply dimensionals, nothing more tricky than that. And probably just 3 will do that. And I'm sorry if you can hear my next door neighbour's dog barking, but you know, I have neighbours, there's not a lot I can do about that, and the dog's so cute too, so I think they're playing. Okay, so that's that. And then on this one, I've realised I say "and then" quite a lot, don't I? But there we go. C'est la vie. So on this one, I copper embossed it first, and then I punched it out. This time, I'm going to use my Big Shot and one of the new embossing folders, and this one's called Stylish Scroll. And I think that actually, if you embossed this, it would look pretty awesome. So we're just going to emboss, run that through. Now this is a thin embossing folder, so you will need both plates, but not your little thin die adapter. Okay, so put one plate in, then your embossing folder, then your other plate, and off you go. That's with our current standard plates, current standard embossing folders, and with the Big Shot. Obviously other machines vary in what you need to put your plates in. Okay, you'll be happy to see I got a new plate on top. The one underneath still has more work in it, still has a life, but I got a new one for the top. Okay, and then when you take it out, it looks like that. Or the other way, oh, it looks like that. Isn't that just yummy? Hopefully you can see that. I'll try and zoom in actually on the camera. Isn't that gorgeous? Really gorgeous. Now, if you wanted to, you could take one of our gold or copper sparkly, what are they called? Metallic stamp pads. I don't have mine. I don't have a gold one yet. It's on order. And I don't know what I've done with my silver one, but yeah, you could just rub that over the top very gently and get sort of a nice, beautiful sheen. But I'm just going to leave it like that. I just think the extra texture makes that really special. I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals again so that it's the same height as the front piece. You could decide whichever way. You can either have it debossed like that or embossed. I'm going to go with embossed, but you could have it either way. And it's a really nice thing to do, to just, as I say, give that extra bit of something, bit of zhuzh to your bauble. I'm going to tuck the top of the bauble in underneath there, bring that down, make sure it's sort of hanging straight and not going off at an angle. Yep, that's all right. And then I've got a piece of linen thread, and I'm just going to tie myself a bow, because I like bows, you know me. We like Queen Pip bows. There we go. Okay. So that is that. Chop those off. Chop off my tails. And then use a small glue dot. One of our mini glue dots. I really like our glue dots because they're so tiny. Lots of other people in the past I've used, they've been massive. And that's no good if you want to just tuck something small up underneath here without it really showing very much. You just sort of want to have the knot stuck down, and then the twine just coming over the edge. You could do it with metallic thread or anything like that, but I think that looks good. If you've enjoyed today's video and you like this stuff, maybe you've just found me, I don't know. If you have just found me, you need to click on the link below, which gives you a free tutorial when you subscribe to my newsletter. I don't do anything nasty with your stuff. you'll go into a welcome sequence, which basically just means I send you a few emails to say hello, welcome, and thanks for being with me. And you can choose what you want to subscribe to. So you can subscribe to my class list. If you're local to me, you can subscribe to my weekly specials, and also my just my normal weekly inspiration roundup. It's just like a weekly roundup I do. So if you're interested in that, then please do click the link below. Also below will be all the details of these cards over on my blog, so you can have a look at the photos and all that kind of stuff, and of course the list of how you can grab hold of anything that you've seen here that you liked. So yeah, that's it. Join me again next week for another instalment at Queen Pip Cards. Thanks ever so much. Take care now. Bye bye.